Today in the Toyverse, things get a little chilly and the cold puns keep rolling like refills on coffee at the local Denny's. Today, folks, I'm looking at the Diamond Select Series 4 Gotham TV show Mr. Freeze action figure. And to be quite honest with you, very happy with what I have in front of me. It's a solid figure. I give it 2 thumbs up. Now, if it was in the Tokyo Dome, it would be a 6-star figure. But that's neither here or there. So let's bring it in a little further and let's talk about why I enjoy this figure. Well, upon closer inspection, let's talk about that awesome head sculpt. Looks like the actor playing Freeze. Looks like how it does on the TV show. No complaints there. The suit itself, very nice as well. I love the detail with the pattern here. I love the choices of the blues, the blacks, and the grays. It all blends very nicely to create an eye-catching Freeze figure. Now, something to note, and I know this isn't Diamond Select's fault. This is a TV show directional choice. It's always weird to see a Mr. Freeze without a dome on his head. I think, personally, I'm going to try to track down something to put on his head. I'm still in the hunt for LEDs to give that blue effect that you see on the TV show. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm just racking my brain around it. But, you know, that's just a personal thing. But overall, like I said, sculpted very nice. Everything looks terrific on it. It even's got peg holes on the bottom. And it's a joy to have in hand. This is a weird way, just being honest with you guys, because we weren't originally supposed to get this background piece, and I guess I'm going to just segue into that right now. This is a reuse of the Series 1 set that had Gordon, Catwoman, and who's that other guy? Oh yeah, the Penguin. This is a reuse of that with a different texture for the wall. It would have been really cool to have that prison cage type thing, because with the Extreme Sets Asylum backdrop, I was really hoping to have something like that. It's a shame that we didn't get it, but, you know, can't cry over spilled milk, or you shouldn't cry over spilled milk, I should say. But it is what it is. But as far as this piece goes, you've already seen it. The only difference is this time we got the little Joker ha 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 with the eyes watching you. Remember, eyes are always watching you. You got the box, you got the trash can. They both, they're 2 separate pieces, but they plug in. Very simple. It's very nice, and it makes a bigger piece, which I'll be talking about further on down the road. But let's set that back aside, and let's cover the articulation real quick. So the head is on I believe it's a double ball peg. You got a lot of range of motion. It doesn't go back as much, but, you know, you can do pretty much anything with the head, even though it's surrounded by this cooling chamber thing. In terms of the arms, they go out, they go down, they spin all the way around, no problem. Hinge at the elbow with a swivel. You got a hinge and swivel at the hand. You got a really cool diaphragm joint. This is something I want to talk about. It flows very nice. This may be one of the best diaphragm joints I've ever encountered on an action figure. Look at all that range of motion. Nothing to complain about there. In terms of the legs, typical Diamond Select or DC Universe Classic style. They go out that much, they go back down. They kick up about that much, and they go back just ever so slightly. The thigh cut's pretty cool on this guy because it's kind of hidden by the armor, although when you have it posed like that, it looks kind of weird. But it flows very nicely, no complaints there. We have double jointed knees, and then we have that ankle rocker that allows for the pivot and up and down, all that fun stuff. And like I said, the lower thigh cut's there. No complaints whatsoever. The articulation, if you're used to it in this line, is what you've come to know and expect. So let's talk about the accessories and go from there. For the accessories, this is how it's going to break down. So you've already seen the diorama piece, but we get even more fun items for Freeze to freeze people with, to make them chill out, if you will. Okay, I promise no more puns. So you have this weird freeze gun that has the 3 tubes already locked into place. I don't remember this gun on the show, but then again, I try to forget Gotham after I watch it. I still try to watch it. I just Try not to, if that makes any sense. You have this other gun here with one of the canisters inside. I really like this gun. I like this gun a lot more than this gun. It's just a personal taste, I guess. Sculpted and painted very nicely. And then you get these 3 freeze grenades here, which are painted and sculpted very nicely. Very satisfied with diamond including those. Very happy to add this figure to my collection. Let's just pray to God I don't lose those freeze grenades. So that's going to wrap it up for all the basics that cover this figure. Let's do the size comparison and get the plugs out of the way and call this one in the can. So for today's size comparison, on one end I have the James Gordon figure from Series 1, and on the other end I have the DC Collectibles DC Bombshells Hawk Girl, and in the middle we have our star attraction, Mr. Freeze. Obviously, the diamond figures work great with each other, but I think you could actually probably make the DC Collectibles and the Diamond Select figure work if you really put a lot of effort and elbow grease into it. So overall, I think you should get this figure, only if you're a fan of this design. Now, if you hate this design for Freeze, obviously anything that I'm saying is mute and boring to you, but personally, I like the design, I like the accessories. I'm not the biggest fan of the diorama piece, but it's not the end of the world. So, if you can, head over to Big Bad Toy Store. I know they're in stock over there. If you want the diorama piece, if you want a regular piece, I think Toys R Us or places like that have it. Otherwise, you know, thank you guys as always for taking the time to look and watch as I review action figures. If you're inclined, give me a like, even subscribe if it tickles your pickle. A few quick shout outs before we get to the slideshow. I have all the links in the description below, but go check out Extreme Dash Sets, Big Bad Toy Store, UndercoverCapes.com, and on Instagram you can find Toy Lover Crew if you're a fan of toy photography. With that being said, guys, there is a slideshow, and until next time, great googly moogly.